Welcome into Drew's Daily Diamonds for Friday, March 28th, 2025. I am Drew Martin breaking down the slate of games. Let me know in the comments below where you agree, where you disagree. All is welcome. It helps grow the show. Your college basketball picks for tonight, for this weekend. Smash that like button if you're liking the content. As we get the second day of the Sweet 16 and a packed slate here, guys. Starting off 7:09 Eastern, 4:09 Pacific on CBS. State Farm Arena, Atlanta, Georgia for the 6th seed, Ole Miss Rebels, and the 2 seed, Michigan State Spartans. We are seeing Sparty minus 3.5 as the favorite, 143.5 being the total. It's the SEC versus the Big Ten, Tom Izzo versus Chris Beard, the two head coaches here. Needs to be talked about off the top. Ole Miss shooting from three, red hot, just under 50% in the first two rounds of the tournament. They knocked off North Carolina and Iowa State, looked good doing so. And they got off to hot starts, double-digit leads at halftimes in both of the first two games. Now, are they going to be able to do that against Michigan State becomes the question. I don't think so. If you've watched the show, guys, Sparty's been one of our golden gooses here. 22-9 against the spread. They've won and covered each of the first two of the tournament. They're actually 10-1 their last 11 against the spread. So the odds makers have been short pricing Michigan State as the favorite. And talking about Ole Miss shooting from three, I think they're going to struggle here because this is the number one three-point defense in the country. Talking about Michigan State, I think Sparty gets it minus 3.5. I think it's short. I think they win it something like, 78-70, something like that. So we're going Michigan State minus the 3.5 as the short favorite over Ole Miss to tip us off Friday night. We got next game up, changing locations here. We're heading to Lucas Oil Stadium, Indianapolis, Indiana, 7:39 Eastern tip time on TBS for the 3 and the 2 seed. That's Kentucky and Tennessee. It looks like Tennessee minus 4.5 as the favorite. There are a couple fours out there. 144.5 to 145 being the total. Now, right off the top of this one, two SEC teams going at it in Lucas Oil Stadium, which, by the way, is a football stadium. So normally we don't have to handicap this until the Final Four, but we're getting it in the Sweet 16. You're getting the sight lines changing. It's not a basketball arena. It is a football stadium where the Indianapolis Colts play their home games, also where the Big Ten championship game is, and I believe the MAC championship game. But either way, 3 seed, 2 seed here. And Kentucky did win both of the first two matchups in the regular season. Two SEC teams, they played twice this season. Kentucky won 78-73 and 75-64, holding Tennessee to 64 points. I think that's something to take notice of. That was also Tennessee's only home loss the entire season. Now, Kentucky out the gate in the tournament, number one three-point shooting team in the SEC. They were also 50%, the exact same ratio, 12 of 24 in the first two rounds. So they've been hot from three. But will the sight lines changing affect them at all? I think it could. I don't know that it's that big of a handicap, but something to have in our back pocket. Now, Tennessee defensively they're one of the best defensive teams in the country. And they have had improved guard play here with Lanier and Ziegler. Ziegler's the defensive SEC player of the year. Overall, it's a great matchup. I mean, if you go back, 5-10 years, actually the last 2 decades, these are the two top SEC basketball programs. But sidewise, I think it's tough. If you made me choose, I would be on Kentucky plus the points. I think it's actually, one of those situations where they beat them twice. Is it that hard to beat them at the third straight time? Yeah, it could be tough, but usually it's not that difficult. Instead, guys, I go after this total. Being in a football stadium, I think it affects both teams shooting the basketball. And we get Tennessee with that vaunted defense, 3 straight unders. I would watch that. I think 144.5, 145. I think it's a little bit too tall. ESPN bet right now showing a 145. I don't think we get there. I think we stay out of the 140s. I think this is something, maybe like 67, 65, a close fought defensive battle. We're going under 145, Kentucky and Tennessee. Got one game left here for Drew's Daily Diamonds on Friday. Reminder, if you could comment below, it does help out the algorithm, growing the show on YouTube. Also going to be hitting MLB here early this upcoming week. So if you're a baseball bettor, come back and join us. We'll hit the Final Four, national championship in college basketball as well. If you're interested in premium picks, check them out. Drew Martin Experts page, WagerTalk.com. All right, we got the nightcap for the video here. 9:39 Eastern on CBS, State Farm Arena, Atlanta, Georgia. Michigan and Auburn. The 5-seed Michigan side is the underdog, heavy underdog here, at least of the games we're talking. Auburn minus 9.5, 153 and a hook being the total. Now, this is the SEC and Big Ten up against each other again, with Auburn being the regular season SEC champion, number 1 overall seed. And Michigan, they won the Big Ten tournament. They've actually won and covered 5 straight games. And Auburn, yes, the number 1 seed overall, but this is coming from an Auburn alumni that's watched a bunch of their games this season. They're just 1-5 against the spread the last 6. And watching them, you can tell they're not playing their best basketball of the season. They really aren't. I mean, they were 1-3 to end the regular season and SEC tournament. Bruce Pearl's team, great overall, great talent. Can they turn it around here and start covering some numbers? I don't know, guys. I mean, Dusty May's got them playing well. They got Trey Donaldson as the point guard. Interesting note here. He transferred to Michigan from Auburn. So it's kind of a little bit of, hey, we know what you got, you know what we got type of deal. But I think Michigan beating UC San Diego, that was one of the better mid-majors this season. They beat them in the first round, beat Texas A&M, another SEC team there. They won by 12 as 3-point dogs. I actually think Michigan's being a little bit underrated here. Plus 9.5. I think this is a situation where Auburn wins, Michigan covers. So we're going to put the points in our pocket here. Plus 9.5 is the high water mark. We're going with the Wolverines, plus 9.5 in the 9 o'clock Eastern hour. So that's going to do it for the show here on Friday night. In recap, we got Michigan plus 9.5, Kentucky, Tennessee under 145, and Michigan State minus 3 in the hook over Ole Miss. Guys, thanks for tuning in. Enjoy the rest of your Friday night. We'll be back on Saturday. Come back and join us. Until then, cash those tickets.